And Byron, Rocky has tremendous exuberance, tremendous youth. He's going to be a star for a long time.
I think Rocky Maivia shows more promise than any other wrestlers I've seen come into WWE. You talk about second-generation wrestlers, but with Rocky, you're talking about 3 generations. This guy's going to be phenomenal.
Uh-oh.
No!
The champ just crashed down on the worst spot possible. The part of the ring where all the steel beams converge.
Carrying the opposition. What's the thought here?
My goodness!
And then look at that! And an inverted atomic drop. And Rocky is delivering solid damage, but needs to remember to get Helmsley in the ring. The title kick.
Perched up top.
Oh, strong impact. Intercontinental Championship at stake right here in Lowell, Massachusetts. We're expecting an emotional night for all of us, considering that Shawn Michaels will forfeit the WWE Championship. Cobra clutch. Torture.
In trouble here.
A couple of elbows to the jaw, and that'll break things up.
Working the midsection there. Here we go. Time to work out some aggression.
Maivia with a nice turnaround.
There it is, the people's push.
Helmsley has no control here.
The power of Rocky Maivia is too much for Helmsley right now.
Counters right back on Rocky.
Finds the roll-up.
The champ is pinned. We might have a new champion here.
Oh, man. This could really come back to bite him in the end.
A reversal. He saw that. The Intercontinental title hangs in the... balance. Tonight in a match between our refined champion, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and the young challenger, Rocky Maivia.
Rocky Maivia has a lot to prove here. The 3rd generation. Uh-oh!
Gets the reversal. What a counter. And watching from home is Rocky Johnson, the father of Rocky Maivia, former WWE Tag Team Champion.
I must admit, I do see a bright future for Maivia. Those that have been privileged enough to see Rocky Johnson in action will appreciate Rocky Maivia because he's a chip off the old block.
Notwithstanding as well the genes of his grandfather, the incomparable Peter Maivia, Chief Maivia.
Oh boy, they don't come any tougher than Peter Maivia. Perched up top.
Look out below! Coming down on their opponent like a sack of bricks.
He counters. Ducked underneath into a German suplex. Intercontinental Championship at stake right here in Lowell, Massachusetts. We're expecting an emotional night for all of us, considering that Shawn Michaels will forfeit the WWE Championship live tonight.
Yeah, I saw a very dejected HBK earlier today. I couldn't even get him to crack a smile at all.
Well, that's just because no one's ever happy to see you, Saxton. If Rocky Maivia is going to take down the more polished and experienced Hunter Hearst Helmsley, he's going to have to do it with unrelenting energy. Rocky has to keep coming at the champion with big attacks until Helmsley collapses under the onslaught.
It's a bold strategy that will take everything the young Maivia's got, but you're right. It could be his best path to his first championship win.
And Rocky just taunting his opponent now.
He might just be stalling for time here. Oh, and he gets discarded out of the ring.
And to the sky. What? Completely throwing self-preservation out the window.
I don't know how your mind would even think about doing that. Running power slam.
Before this match, I was talking to Helmsley, and he said he can beat the snot out of this Maivia kid in less than 10 minutes. In fact, he was showing me on his watch. Did you know he has a timepiece that costs $20,000?
Confident words from Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Not sure how relevant his timepiece is to this match, though, Corey.
It is. Cobra clutch cinched in.
Torturing their...
In trouble here.
A couple of elbows to the jaw, and that'll break things up.
The crowd is fired up. Helmsley is fired up. From way up, nobody home. Schoolboy into the pin.
Able to reach the ropes, and he's able to last here. Oh.
And even before the bell rang tonight, I think Hunter Hearst Helmsley has been trying to frustrate Rocky. He's tried to say, hey, young fella, we're going to do things at my...
The Intercontinental title hangs in the balance. Tonight in a match between our refined champion, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and the young challenger, Rocky Maivia.
Rocky Maivia has a lot to prove here. The third-generation up-and-comer would love nothing more than to grab his first championship tonight and send a message to the WWE that Rocky Maivia has arrived.
But Hunter Hearst Helmsley will do everything in his considerable power to stop that from happening. And as far as Helmsley is concerned, Maivia is barely even worth his time. And we know Rocky doesn't have the same experience as Helmsley, and that could be a developing story as this match progresses.
And this is where an experienced wrestler like Helmsley can take a young wrestler and pick him apart, take advantage, capitalize, and win.
Countering that offense. And he goes crashing to the outside. And now he's going to the top rope.
Oh, look out. Oh, we're waiting. To the outside.
From all the way up. Wasted no time. Flying out to the floor.
Boom. Nice. And conspicuous by his absence is the butler of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who has been intervening in matches as of late. Who knows if he might show up?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just another thing Maivia needs to worry about.
Rocky has bigger problems in the ring, gentlemen. Biggest match he's ever had. Uh-oh, the Cobra clutch is applied.
The Cobra! And wait a second. Interesting turn of events here.
Now he just released the hold, and I'm racking my brain wondering why.
And he retaliates.
Both superstars countering one move after another. Several reversals, neither superstar able to penetrate their opponent's defense.
And he slides him back to the mat. Gotta act fast to beat the count.
The seconds are ticking away.
And this match will continue on. Intercontinental Championship at stake right here in Lowell, Massachusetts. We're expecting an emotional night for all of us because the Intercontinental title hangs in the balance. Tonight in a match between our refined champion, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Uh-oh, submission move. Fujiwara armbar. And with the submission locked in, are we about to...
Trying to find a way out. And he's out and delivers a knee.
Thursday Raw, Thursday. Getting kicked off with a title match for the Intercontinental Championship. Number one contender, Rocky Maivia, versus the champion, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Before this this match, I was talking to Helmsley, and he said he can beat the snot out of this Maivia kid in less than 10 minutes. In fact, he was showing me on his watch. Did you know he has a timepiece that costs $20,000?
Confident words from Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Not sure how relevant his timepiece is to this match, though, Corey.
It isn't relevant. I just wanted...
Oh, no. Now possibly setting up for a submission. He had it locked in. I didn't expect him to just let go.
I don't know what he's thinking, but he needs to focus on the task at hand.
Oh. That'll turn your lights out. What a reversal by Hunter.
A string of counters.
Ref continues to count. Real risk of things ending right now. Intercontinental Championship at stake right here in Lowell, Massachusetts. We're expecting an emotional night for all of us, considering that Shawn Michaels will forfeit the WWE Championship and a heartbreaking loss for the young upstart, Rocky Maivia. The Intercontinental Championship is on the line here between two superstars who don't have anything nice to say about one another. The challenger, Rocky Maivia, and our current champion, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Well, Helmsley is our champion for a reason.
Cobra Clutch.
The Cobra Clutch is in.
In trouble here.
A couple of elbows. To the jaw, and that'll break things up.
Fought back with a punch to the gut.
And watching from home is Rocky Johnson, the father of Rocky Maivia, former WWE Tag Team Champion.
I must admit, I do see a bright future for Maivia. Those that have been privileged enough to see Rocky Johnson in action.
From the top, diving double axe handle. Oh, tossed to ringside. And he's leaving the ring for the moment. And knew what was coming there.
Chess match of counters and reversals happening here.
Boom! Good defense from him. Jawbreaker!
Call it, Dennis. Before this match, I was talking to Helmsley, and he said he can beat the snot out of this Maivia kid in less than 10 minutes. In fact, he was showing me on his watch. Did you know he has a timepiece that costs $20,000?
Confident words from Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Not sure how relevant his timepiece is to this match, though, Corey.
It isn't relevant. I just wanted to share an example of how far ahead in the game of life Helmsley is.
Oh, brother.
If Rocky Maivia is going to take down the more polished and experienced Hunter Hearst Helmsley, he's going to have to do it with unrelenting energy. Rocky has to keep coming at the champion with big attacks until Helmsley collapses under the onslaught.
It's a bolt. The Intercontinental title hangs in the balance. Tonight in a match between our refined champion, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and the young challenger, Rocky Maivia.
Rocky Maivia has a lot to prove here. The third-generation up-and-comer would love nothing more than to grab his first championship tonight and send a message to the WWE that...
Cobra Clutch cinched in.
And he decides to let his opponent out of the hold.
Might have felt like he was losing a grip and didn't want the opposition to counter out of the submission.
All right, he's got to refocus up now. Here we go again. He made his point. Concentrate on the match instead of everything outside of it. And conspicuous by his absence is the butler of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who has been intervening in matches as of late. Who knows if he might show up.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just another thing Maivia needs to worry about.
Rocky has bigger problems in the ring, gentlemen. Biggest match he's ever had. Live, worldwide television. He's got to have a stomach full of butterflies.
Oh. Crank in the head. Hunter on the receiving end. And Rocky is delivering solid damage, but needs to remember to get Helmsley in the ring. The title can't be won outside of the squared circle.
If Rocky Maivia is going to take down the more polished and experienced Hunter Hearst Helmsley, he's going to have to do it with unrelenting energy. Rocky has to keep coming at the champion with big attacks until Helmsley collapses under the onslaught.
It's a bold strategy that will take everything the young Maivia's got, but you're right. From the top!
You gotta be kidding me! Putting it all on the line and coming up big with a breathtaking move.
And watching from home is Rocky Johnson, the father of Rocky Maivia, former WWE Tag Team Champion.
I must admit, I do see a bright future for Maivia. Those that have been privileged enough to see Rocky Johnson in action will appreciate Rocky Maivia.
Finds the roll-up. Rope break, so the pin's called off. Reversal. And that turns things around. He's headed to the top now. Perched up top. A diving knee drop.
Maivia took to the sky and executed that high risk perfectly.
Hunter whipped into the corner. Nobody home. Rocky hit hard. And now Hunter looks to take over this match.
Helmsley muscling Maivia up to the top turnbuckle and a big right hand.
Helmsley with something big in mind here for his challenger tonight.
Well, this is just blatant disrespect from the arrogant champion.
Almost daring Rocky. Hey, you really want my title? You really think you're going to be Intercontinental Champion?
Up to the top. Hooking Rocky into a superplex. This could be it. Can Hunter capitalize? This could be it. Hook of the leg and a cover, and Rocky stays in it, getting his shoulder up.
Still not enough to put out the flame of Rocky Maivia.
Hunter has to be asking himself, what else do I have in my arsenal? And I think we may get our answer, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, I believe, before this one's over. Hunter hooking Rocky, taking his time, looking to put him away.
Maivia just collapsed.
This just shows you how much damage Hunter Hearst Helmsley has inflicted on the challenger in this matchup.
I think Maivia's done. Official might want to step in, call this one.
The official checking on Rocky. Hunter Hearst Helmsley believes this is close to being over. Lifting him back up again. Rocky rolls through. Shoulders down. Rocky wins the title.
Rocky Maivia has shocked Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Here is your winner and the new Intercontinental Champion, Rocky Maivia.
We have a new Intercontinental Champion.
In a family of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers, the final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss, there wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anawa'i Fatu Maivia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principles behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever, and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Maivia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Maivia properly with a resounding victory.
Uh-oh, somebody called the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steal.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic.
High Chief Peter Maivia taking on George the Animal Steele in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few super... Nice takedown, stacked for the pin!
Countered into a new cover.
Reverse the leverage and into a pin.
Able to turn it into a cover of their own. And he gets the shoulder up.
It'll take a lot more than that to keep him down.
Peter Maivia very tough, but he also has movie star... Good looks. Quite the combo.
And it served him well, Michael. In fact, the High Chief has major acting and stunt work credits to his name. And who knows? Maybe we'll see the Maivia name on Hollywood billboards again sometime.
Well, before any of that happens, the High Chief needs to survive this war against the Animal.
The High Chief Peter Maivia and George the Animal Steele facing off in a steel cage, each man looking to finally score a decisive victory. In this rivalry. George beats him to the punch. George the Animal Steel might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost a match. By count out to the High Chief.
In Steel's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage.
Well, Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence in the ring. He's more than ready for what the animal will throw at him, even inside a cage.
We've seen that Steel isn't above using a foreign object to gain the edge against Maivia, so he's got to have the advantage in a match. And here we go. The Boston Crab.
Look at the back position.
Oh, just imagine the pain.
Amazing display of leg strength.
And that holds Peter Maivia back.
The Animal has to be elated to be in this steel cage against one of his biggest rivals, no less.
Yeah, Byron, we've seen the Animal brandish a weapon against Peter Maivia before when it was against the rules. The High Chief better be prepared for Steel to get even crazier.
Oh, Maivia is prepared, all right. The man is extremely tough and agile. In fact, the High Chief's entire body can be considered a weapon.
Punishing.
He might have him.
And a kick out at only one.
Right now, I just don't know what it's going to take.
Turn it around with a reversal.
Oh, man. Jarring headbutt. Maivia just dominated the Animal with that one.
The High Chief Peter Maivia.
And look at this now. Yes, applying the submission hold.
It's hooked in deep. His body's overcome with pain. Is he going to fade?
Oh, I can feel the agony. Able to punch his way out. Man.
Seems as though the High Chief is in a rare state of distress.
Yeah, it's very difficult to prepare for George the Animal Steel. You cannot waste any time when you start the climb.
Powerbomb. He comes crashing back down.
He had a rough landing, but it could have been so much worse for him. And drops the fist.
Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anawa'i family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan.
When you add on the fact that Maivia was born and raised in Samoa, you can see the great pride he has for that land and its people in the tribal ink that covers his body.
He's looking to climb the steel cage now.
Being sized up. He might regret getting back up here.
From the top, double axe handle connects.
Into the pin, could be over for Maivia. Shoulder up right away.
How does anyone have this much in them at this point?
Big back body drop.
When a man like Peter Maivia signs up for a match with the Animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world.
Peter Maivia knows full well that he's in for some unusual treatment tonight. In fact, Steel often has trouble finding opponents due to his erratic nature.
But when it comes to competition, the High Chief wants to prove he's worthy of that name. Peter Maivia will take on any competitor. No, wait, trouble here. Can he get it fully locked in?
Hammerlock applied, able to punch his way out. Twisting, ooh.
Into the pin. George is trying to seal this one up.
Wow, Steel with a big win over Peter Maivia.
Here is your winner, George the Animal Steel.
High Chief Peter Maivia taking on George the Animal Steel in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the Animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain that.
The Animal has to be elated to be in this steel cage against one of his biggest rivals, no less.
Yeah, Byron, we've seen the Animal brandish a weapon against Peter Maivia before when it was against the rules. The High Chief better be prepared for Steel to get even crazier.
Oh, Maivia is prepared all right. The man is extremely tough and agile. In fact, the High Chief's entire body can be considered a weapon.
Great ring awareness saved him.
That's not right, but effective. These two reaching a standstill with all these reversals.
Getting him right into the corner.
Able to fight Maivia off.
George clearly wants a fight here.
Clothesline!
Well, that'll leave a mark.
Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how is he... Now down into the cover. Only a one count before the kick out.
Starting to see... The tolls of this match add up.
And a kick. And he has started to ascend the cage wall now.
And he's only got one thing on his mind right about now.
Oh, look out. One step ahead there. Climbing, headed for the top of the cage.
Getting to his feet, but he doesn't know what's waiting.
From the top.
Cuts the attack off.
My goodness, calm down. Freakazoid?
What a counter by Peter Maivia. Gentlemen, we've touched on the differences between Maivia and Steele as competitors. One man based on order, the other on chaos, but it's reflected in their looks, too.
Indeed, Michael. Just look at the sculpted physique of the High Chief. And the tribal tattoos on his body are extremely intricate and definitely eye-catching.
And Steele is, well, he's an ugly creature. Enough hair on his upper torso to classify as fur. Folds
into the pin. Could be over for Maivia. Yeah, no, he doesn't get the three.
You gotta think he's just one final blow away from not kicking out next time.
Mistake made by Steele. George Animal Steele is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
And he might be the best brawler in WWE, Michael. There is no shortage of fight in the animal.
But you know who might be a better brawler, guys? The High Chief, Peter Maivia. When you consider that Maivia is also an excellent high flyer and a great technician, well, you can see why the High Chief is the favorite in this match, even with the steel cage stipulation.
What a punch! Fire with a straight shot there, answering back.
Just teeing off with that fight forever vibe.
Giving up now is not an option. They have to finish this.
So much pride, so much resiliency on display.
Big time hammer fist.
And it seems as though the High Chief is in a rare state of distress.
Yeah, it's very difficult to prepare for George the Animal Steele. Not an easy climb, even when you aren't in the middle of a match.
Here he goes, up the wall of the steel cage. Ooh! Oh! Ooh! He crashed with a heavy thud all the way down from the top.
He just experienced a first-hand lesson in gravity.
This is what he's been training for. This moment right here.
The High Chief, Peter Maivia, really making a name for himself at WWE, but he's had plenty of experience on the way up.
Plenty of championships on the West Coast, but he's made the biggest splash in Hawaii, where he earned multiple tag team titles.
Oh, yeah, Maivia is a huge celebrity on the islands. In fact,
here we go. Off the mark.
Vicious, downright savage club right there. From the top. Oh, gosh. That looked like a bad landing. Going right after the arm and taking down their opponent effectively. Just twitch.
Shoulders are down.
Is this the end?
Kicks out before the 2 count.
He's still got more left in the tank.
Steele turning Maivia into the hunted here, looking to dethrone the High Chief.
Ooh, and he stops that offense. Peter Maivia very tough, but he also has movie star good look.
Wait a minute, setting in. Devastating submission coming.
And right,
able to punch his way out.
Man. Delivers the snapmare and drops the fist. Oh, man. Maivia just dominated the animal with that one.
this could be it. He could win it all here. And he kicks out of the pin and 1.
This is where great cardio makes all the difference, helping you stay alive deep into the match.
Backfire into a DDT. George the Animal Steele might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost a match by countout to the High Chief.
In Steele's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage.
Well, Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence in the... George is tied up here.
Just breaking down the opponent. Does Peter Maivia have this sewn up?
Diving leg drop.
The animal may be wounded prey at this point.
The High Chief closing in on a successful hunt. This has been a true brawl, and you can see Maivia and Steele are pushing each other to the limit. A chop block right to the knee.
When a man like Peter Maivia signs up for a match with the Animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world.
Peter Maivia knows full well that he's in for some unusual treatment tonight. In fact, Steele often has trouble finding opponents due to his erratic nature.
But when it comes to competition, the High Chief wants to prove he's worthy of that name. Peter Maivia will take on any competitor, no matter the difficulty.
Straight to the knee.
It pulls off the reversal. Quick thinking that time. And now a third. Oh! Peter Maivia turns that around. Rocked with a headbutt, but not done yet. A second one. Flurry of strikes.
Carefully measuring, waiting to strike.
Nice scoop slam.
Getting up real slow. Not quite all there.
Headlock cinched it and just tossed their opponent.
Flamed across the way.
And his corner might be a bigger target now. Oh, man, taking it to the trachea. An overhand chop. Peter Maivia now with the upper hand.
Yeah, Maivia has really figured the Animal out here. Stunning display of power.
Big back body drop.
On elevation.
Scrambling up the cage wall now.
Each inch you climb puts you in more of a precarious position.
He climbed to the top of the cage, but now his choices are limited. And he's straddling the top of the cage, just feet away from making it to the outside.
Not a lot of room for error up here.
Carefully planning his escape. Steel cage match underway. Peter Maivia versus George the Animal Steele. Most of the matches between Peter Maivia and George Steele have ended inconclusively, but this time we'll have a winner.
These are two very different men, Cole. The High Chief is a man of great pride and respect for the ring, while Steele is, well, he's an animal. I can't think of two opponents with more opposing styles.
You said it, Corey. Let's just hope this one gets taken. Taken care of in the ring tonight. Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anoa'i family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan.
When you add on the fact that Maivia was born and raised in Samoa, you can see the great pride he has for that land and its people in the tribal ink that covers his body.